Yay Media Group.
If that bruises, you're in trouble. You probably need surgery. And then I was thinking back to when I tore my bicep off riding that bull. And I was like, if I have to get surgery on my leg because of adult kickball game, I got to make some changes.
Hey guys, episode 76. We are still in our same clothes because we're filming on the same day because Jeff is going out of town tomorrow. You're going to work on some things.
Yeah.
Let's get this merchandise done.
We're getting some merch going so we can put that out there now because it's going to happen. And that'll be coming shortly. On the last episode, I mentioned it for the holidays. So hopefully that's when it comes. We didn't even address that. Episode 75 was kind of a landmark.
Oh, it was, yeah. And that's why I wanted to do the Q&A, episode 75. Because it was
and we got a lot of questions. So again, thank you for writing in and thanks for your concern about
and your prayers.
My careers and prayers. So maybe towards the end, we'll read a couple more because a lot of people wrote in questions and we want to get to all of them. But we had a fun little weekend and we kind of wanted to share.
We did. Okay, so I have two friends here in my neighborhood, and they are like the ultimate planners. They love planning parties. They love planning gatherings. I'm kind of the opposite. I don't like planning stuff, but they really enjoy it. And they put a kickball little tournament together with a big group. How many of us?
It was at
30?
At least 10 or 12 people on each team, right?
Yeah, I would say there were like
somewhere like 30.
Yeah, I would say like 30 people because people were coming in late.
Yeah.
And
so adult kickball for adults only. We played in a park, so the kids all played in the park area, and then there was a wide open area that we played.
But tell
kickball.
What the rule is.
So the rule is you have to have a solo cup. You know, Jordan didn't drink, but you're supposed to have beer in your solo cup and you have to hold it at all times. So when you get the ball kicked to you, it's super funny because it's a big round kickball and a lot of people take it off the chest and the beer like explodes because you can't let go of your cup. So it's really funny. It's really just, I was laughing so hard.
And
it was so much fun.
When the dad started feeling good after a couple beers, y'all made it more like dodgeball and we're like blasting people with the ball.
You have a beer in your hand. So when someone's running, you could just hit them with the ball. You know, it's a giant ball. It doesn't hurt unless you take it right in the face. But yeah, there was some, oh my God.
We were having fun.
And everybody there is getting up there in age somewhat. I wouldn't say all the women, but all the men for sure. And your body it doesn't work the way it used to.
The whole time he's like, oh, I think I tore something. You kicked the ball.
I was going to get there.
Oh, sorry.
So before we started, it was on Saturday we played and we were having some beers. Our friend brought their truck who organized everything. And there's beers and margaritas and stuff. It's actually a cool little business. You could use them to rent out. Or like
it's called Bubbles and Brew.
Right. And you could rent out their truck and then they'll drive it to your house and just open up the back and, all the stuff's hooked up there.
Yeah. So she had like a bunch of kegs. So beer, margaritas for adults, and then lemonade for me and the kids.
Yeah. It's like your own like little self-serve station.
Yeah.
At this it was. Obviously you have to pay and other things.
And then,
But so we're having some beers and I stretch out. Like I'm crazy stretch out guy now because I do yoga and all that. And even when I go golfing, I go and hide and I stretch out. And in fact, I'll tell a quick little story. One time I went golfing, and if you guys ever been golfing, there's like a warm up, like putting green where you could chip on and, take putts before you go out. So I went to go hide and do my yoga because I'm like in all like weird downward dog and flipping over and stuff, just because I have like my routine that I go through. Even before I start working out, I do all that for at least like 10, 15 minutes. So this was a couple of years ago. I went golfing with some buddies and I snuck away and I was doing like yoga next to the putting green, like where you're chipping and there was nobody there. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. So I threw my clubs on the green and I'm doing like yoga, like downward dog and like flipping my leg over and stuff and like all this weird stuff. And a ball comes like rolling up and I was like, dude, what's going on? Who did that? And these guys pull up and they're like, dude, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, oh, what do you mean, man? I'm just stretching out on the practice green. They're like, this isn't a practice green. This is the 18th hole. And I was in the middle of the fairway, like not in the middle of the fairway, I was next to the green.
That's so embarrassing.
So imagine the guys, like if you're golfing and you're like, dude, what is this asshole doing? And they thought I was just being an asshole, but I thought I was hiding. I wasn't even paying attention that it was a
Who were you with?
I think I was with like Matt and those guys, like from the old
Oh
apartment.
my gosh.
Yeah, super embarrassing. And I was like, guys, I swear, I thought this was a practice green and nobody was here. And they're like, whatever. Like, I ran, but whatever. So that's my stretch out story. I'm such a loser. So I like to stretch out because I don't want to do something stupid. I know I'm getting older. So fast forward to Saturday, I was stretching out and everybody's drinking beers and they were making fun of me. And I was stretching out very mildly, but I wanted to do more, but I was already getting made fun of. So I was like, whatever. I'm like, I'll be fine. I stretched out enough. So we start playing. I rocked the grand slam, felt good about it. Felt like I was 21 again. And then my next time up, we took a little break because the kids wanted to play a little bit. So we were letting them play. We kind of sat around for a little bit, had some beers. And then the adults go back out there. So my next time to kick, now I'm feeling good because I had a couple beers and they like pitch it to me. I'm like, I'm going to kick this thing over the houses over there. And I tried to kick it so hard that I like snapped. I didn't snap. I like tweaked something in my quad, like groin area. And right when I kicked it, I was like, oh my God, I think I hurt myself like pretty bad. And I like limped over to first base. I think someone drilled me with a ball too, because I was a weak and sitting duck at that point. So I think I got out a couple of times after that. But I had to finish the game kicking with my left foot. I don't know why I kept playing, but now it's Monday. It's 2 days later, and I've been like icing it, and I've been in a sauna, and I've been like massaging it. So I definitely tweaked something, but it's not to the point where obviously I need surgery or something. Because we were with someone who helps out in ER, right? Brian, does he help out in ER?
Yeah, we have a lot of medical
There's
people.
a lot of, he goes, if that bruises, you're in trouble. You probably need surgery. And then I was thinking back to when I tore my bicep off riding that bull. And I was like, if I have to get surgery on my leg because it's an adult kickball game, I got to make some changes, as it is. I was the one saying, someone's going to get hurt here. What's the over under? And it was me who got hurt. And now I'm just
If you
walking
had to
around.
get surgery and then I have to do this and then I'm going tomorrow for something else, like I'm just going to laugh. I'm going to throw my hands up and
No.
laugh.
I don't think I need surgery now. It's fine. It's just a little, I'm old, man. I forget like sometimes how old I am. And I told myself too, I'm like, they're like laughing, like, why are you stretching? Because I'm like, you know what's going to happen? We're having a couple beers. And if someone like kicks the ball up in the air and it's like 20 feet away, my mind tells me you could get that. So, but my body's not with my mind at this point. So I'm going full speed and I know myself. I'm going to overdo it. I can't just relax like a regular human being. I have to be like on 12 all the time. So that's why I was stretching out, because I'm like, if a play comes where I don't have time to think about like, hey dude, it's just kickball and you're having beers on a Saturday with some friends, you don't need to catch that. My mind doesn't work like that. It's like, get on your horse and go get that thing. And then my legs like, and just tear apart.
I took a couple tumbles.
There was some really funny plays. You fell, oh my God.
I was itching all over. I was taking this serious. I think I took this kickball game more serious than I ever did a Big Brother competition. And I was so itchy and I took a couple dives.
It was hilarious. I haven't laughed that hard and had that much fun.
If you all have like a group of friends or neighbors, what made it so fun is it was a good group of people.
Yeah, like people, like like right in the beginning, our buddy, there was a girl like rounding second and he goes, don't you run on me. And she kept running and he fired it it was a far shot too, but he drilled her right in the back. And it was so funny. And he kind of set the tone because after that, the balls were flying around. I got drilled after I hurt myself. I got drilled like 3 times.
You drilled me in my thigh when I was on the sidelines.
I know. I know. It was getting too aggressive.
Because everybody started having a buzz.
Yeah, but it was so much fun, even though I did hurt myself. And I just haven't laughed that hard. And then you realize how old you're getting, at least me.
I'm sore. Well, I don't work out like that. So I was sore. Like my thighs today are super sore. But you know what? Yesterday, even though I was super sore, I did typical Sunday things and I was on it. Like I not rearranged, but when sometimes I'm like, gosh, cleaning out the closets. I gave 2 bags of clothes away to my neighbor. It's so nice when you have a neighbor that has a younger son because you can give him all the hand-me-downs. So I moved the stuff that doesn't fit Lawson in Leighton's room, got rid of all the stuff in Leighton's room that doesn't fit him and gave it to my neighbor. And then I color coordinated their shirts. So it all looks like crisp and good. And then clean this house.
It makes you feel good when everything's clean, though. Because when things
so
are
much better,
disorganized, like my life, and then your house is kind of disorganized and messy, it's representative. You know?
I was just about to say, there was this guy on Instagram. He said, if you want to know how your life is going, go walk in your closet.
Yeah.
And see how your closet looks.
I think that makes sense.
Well, mine was a disaster, but if you go look in it today, it looks pretty nice.
Yes. All right. Let's take
folded.
a quickie. Let's take a quick quickie. Let's take a quick break.
I do have questions from the last one, and I do feel bad.
You know what? What was that one that you were telling me about? Like, why do you guys take a break and then come back in 2 seconds?
Oh, yeah. Somebody wrote that in one of the questions. I have to go back. Why do you guys say, let's take a break and then... Wait, I have to find it because there's a lot of questions.
We'll keep looking for it. But the answer is our producer, Riley, just told us this. So if you're listening to this on a podcast where you listen to your favorite podcast, there's probably going to be an ad that fills that spot. That's why we take a break so they could put the ads in there. If you're watching this on YouTube, sometimes those ads don't necessarily translate over to YouTube. So it's just, there is no break on there. Sometimes there is an ad that fits that space, but then sometimes there's not. So I never heard of somebody complaining that there isn't enough ads. So be thankful that it wasn't one.
Yeah, I know.
But that's how that works. And I didn't even know it worked like that. So that's a good question. I love the behind the scenes questions because that's what I'm most interested in too.
Yeah. Okay. So there are some, I'm going to continue on the questions just from the last time, make it kind of a 2-part. So there are some Big Brother questions. Is someone in your ear during the nomination ceremony, or do you have to memorize the intro? So you don't memorize it. You stand up and then somebody comes over the speaker. I had to do it, twice? And I was the worst at memorizing. You're like, what does it say? Welcome to the nominate. This is the veto meeting. This is the veto ceremony.
They tell you, they give you do they give you a sheet?
No.
They tell you.
They're over the speaker. So when you're in the living room, they come over and they're like, okay, this is the nomination ceremony or whatever it is.
Yeah, they'll tell you what to say.
And then you just say it. And then they piece it together. Because
that's pretty formatted, right? It's always the same. And it's weird, by the end of the season, you kind of have it memorized. Because you've been through it so many times. But it's like the nomination ceremony, you go in a room, that's why you always see them walk out and you get the box and you tell the producers who you're going to put in. And then you practice your speech kind of. Because I remember doing it the first time and I'm like, man, I don't want to mess this up. Because
I hated every minute of it.
But if you mess it up, then they'll just feed you a line and edit that out, And the nomination ceremony takes a minute because you just sit there and they have to go one by one and get everyone's shot. So you're kind of just listening and it takes a minute because they have to do their production stuff to put it all together.
And you're outside? Is that what you're talking about?
When you're sitting at the kitchen table.
When you're sitting at the kitchen table. Oh, yeah. That one I hated doing. Yeah. When I was over, when I had to nominate someone and remember I kept messing it up.
Yeah.
And then, but then they make it look like really good.
I mean, it's a production, right? You don't just go on there knowing all your lines and nobody's actors on that show. So the production will help you out with that. But again, you don't see anybody, you don't talk to anybody. There is no script on that. I'm thinking of when you go to host a competition, when you're not in the house, they give you like a rough script of what you're saying. But when you're on the show, the producers will help you if they need you to fill in a line or two.
Yeah.
And you know what else is another behind the scenes?
What?
A lot of people think when you pick players for the veto ceremony, or not veto ceremony, for the veto competition, they're like, all right, now pull out the whole box and they show you everybody's name. right? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. So like, if you think it's rigged, like, oh my God, I can't believe Jeff picked Jordan. There's probably 6 Jordans in there. When you're done with the ceremony, you show all, and it's everybody, all the house guests that are left in the house, everybody's names in there. So they know there's no funny business going on.
Well, it's so weird how it happens.
It is weird, and people think it's produced, and it's not.
It's not. Just like the luck, whenever you don't want somebody's name to get picked, and it's somebody that's not in your alliance, they always get picked.
Yeah, and it's when I'm watching this season, it's the same thing, because I remember from our season when it's like, oh my God, all we got to do is get this person out, and we're on easy street, so to speak, at least for that week. Mm-hmm. That person will win HOH, no doubt.
Yeah.
And then just kind of throw a wrench in everything. And you can't write that stuff. It's just, I mean, it's random stuff that you play on.
And just the anxiety thinking about that, being like, oh, am I going to get nominated this week? Is this my last week in the house?
And I just watch like the double eviction, and, you know, everyone's very emotional and crying, but you're kind of laughing because that house just breaks you down mentally. It's so, again, I say this all the time. I hope they do like a docuseries when Big Brother's all said and done, and kind of let you behind the scenes a little bit and show how it's produced, because it's so impressive. And I hope they do a psychological, like some sort of evaluation. That's another thing. They do have a psychologist before and after you come out of the house.
She's great. Yeah. I love her.
And you kind of talk to her and ask if you have any problems.
They debrief you when you get off the show.
You need to like come down, because it's your whole mind, your whole world. You dream about it. You live it 24/7. Mm-hmm. It's such a weird experience that you could only describe if you were on the show X amount of days. And then the emotions that you go through is just wild.
I couldn't imagine going through those emotions now. That's probably why I have anxiety.
All right, you want to take a quick break? And then did we just take a break?
Yeah, we did. Okay, favorite thing about living in Colorado besides your cul-de-sac? Because I always post about our cul-de-sac.
I mean, the mountains. It's like
I like the changes of the season. Fall is my favorite here.
Yeah.
I love fall. I'm actually going on a hike with friends this week when the kids are in school. And my friend just texted me today. She was like, we're going to go see the leaves. So don't make an excuse. Because I am the worst at making plans. Like if I make plans with somebody, 99% of the time I'm going to cancel on you.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I'm the worst because I don't like having plans. I like everything being last minute, kind of like whatever I'm in the mood for that day.
I'm kind of like that too, though. I kind of let the chips fall where they may, but the mountains for sure. I was driving the other day, and sometimes I get like spiritual, and it's like a beautiful sunset in the mountains, and I'll do like the sign of the cross.
I see you doing that in the car sometimes.
Yeah.
Like when we're driving randomly and you do that, and I'm like, what did he just see that he made him do that?
Because sometimes I have to give thanks and appreciate what I have around me and where we live, and I'm very thankful for it. And Leighton in the car the other day, me and him were driving, and I did it because it was a beautiful sunset. And he goes, Dad, why you go like this for? And I go, I'm talking to Jesus. And he goes, oh, okay.
He's so cute. Who's your favorite house guest this year?
I think Tucker. He's long gone, but he was very entertaining. And he didn't care. He's kind of, I don't know what, he makes like health bars or something, but he's kind of like a surfer guy, but I don't even know if he surfs or not, but he's kind of like one of those guys. And he just was like, I don't know. He was just hilarious. He's like, I'll go up on the block. I'll do this. You can't get me out. And he'd win like every competition.
Really?
Till they finally and then he played 2 like.
How far did he make it?
Not even the jury. But he was definitely really entertaining. He kicked the season off, and Angela, well, spoiler alert here. This is going to be a week later, but she just got evicted. She was entertaining, but to be in a house with her would be a nightmare. But she was like.
Is she in it?
She's out now, but she is banana pancakes. She's like 55 though, but she had an emotional ride in there.
Oh.
She was the one who, remember, with crazy eyes in the beginning with that.
I don't watch Big Brother this season, but
listen, if you're not playing with her and watching from home, it was very entertaining.
Yeah. Do you and Jeff ever talk or hang with Jessica and Cody? I rooted for Jessica and Cody on their seasons. I don't know them personally. I honestly don't know a lot. I think people think that when everybody does Big Brother that you all know each other. I don't know a lot of people from Big Brother, just because I was never in that like Big Brother circle. But I like Jessica and Cody. I watched actually the last season of Amazing Race. I watched because of them, because I was rooting for them to win, and that was stressful.
Yeah,
because they won like last minute.
I remember.
Doing that, and I like that Cody's in the military and all that stuff.
Some guy, well, it doesn't matter. They don't even live here. So my neighbor, one of our Richie's friend, one of our, what do you call him? Old neighbor?
Yeah, oh, retired neighbor.
Retired neighbor. Sorry, Richie. Retired neighbor. He had some friends, and he has friends coming in and out all the time. And somehow we were telling like celebrity stories, and he goes to me, he goes, dude, you know who the hottest girl is? And he pulled a picture up of Jessica from Big Brother.
She is beautiful.
And I go, wait a second, dude. I go, did you show me that? Did you tell me this last time? Or were we talking about celebrity story? He goes, oh, I don't know. I might have. He goes, my wife knows. He goes, she's on my top 5 list. He goes, she's the most beautiful girl I ever saw. He goes, could you call her? I'm like, dude, I interviewed her. I go, I don't know her like that. But it's just so funny you said that. And this is the second time he brought it up. He's like an older guy. He's like a fun loving guy. He's not malicious in any means, you know what I mean? Yeah. But he just goes, we were talking about like Hollywood and women and stuff, and he's like, this is the hottest chick ever. I'm like, dude, I think I remember you told me that last time. It's so funny. She's
had what, 4 kids? She's beautiful. Yeah. She is so she's so beautiful.
Yeah, it was just funny that
Cody's personality reminds me of our next door neighbor that I talked about that's going to be on here. That's a Green Beret. I feel like they're
both military guys.
Yeah.
They're pretty stern, Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, love Jessica and Cody. Let's see. Who initiated the first kiss in the BB house? I think you did.
I think I was.
Yeah, you were always trying, and I was like embarrassed. I like did not want any. Okay. I cannot watch The Bachelor when people are kissing and they get like, yes. And then they're kissing and it's like they play that music. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't know why. It makes me so uncomfortable.
It makes me cringe and uncomfortable. And a lot of times I have to get up and walk away. And I hope that didn't happen on Big Brother. I know there was only one time, but Ronnie farted in the room and it like ruined the whole mood.
Wasn't that the first time we kissed?
I think so.
And I go, Ronnie, because I saw it once in a while. I haven't in a while, but once in a while I'll go back on YouTube and watch like old Jeff and Jordan clips. Like this is like after a long Saturday of drinking, and I'll just go down memory lane. And
he's like, you don't want to watch it with me? And I'm like, no, I lived it. Bye. And
because I forgot a lot. Sometimes I put it on and I've forgotten, and people make these great videos of us. And, again, I'm very appreciative, like when I get in those moments of how lucky I have been in the past and how, I really shouldn't be down because I had so many great things happen in my life that I'm very appreciative of. Mm-hmm. Sorry. But yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say more.
No, I watched the one of Ronnie.
Make out.
Ronnie, he farted. I go, Ronnie, did you fart? He goes, yep. And it's like all dark. I don't know. It just made me laugh.
I think you could hear smacking.
There might have been but I think they might play it up a little too. They might throw little sound effects in there. Like,
my mom was in Illinois with my grandparents on that episode, and she goes, I about died sitting next to your grandpa. And because my grandpa is just very like strict and conservative. And my mom just said, I was like, oh my God, Jordan, don't do something bad.
We didn't though.
No, we never did.
Yeah.
We only kissed.
Yeah.
We kept it very PG.
Listen, 3 months. It's a long time.
PG.
Yeah.
What are the pros and cons of marrying someone with age difference?
Wow, that's a deep question.
I think some of it I don't get the same references.
Yeah, the social, or maybe just the entertainment side. Because I'm all into like movie quotes and things like that in the era I grew up in, and I think you kind of disconnect the bigger the age gap. So me and Jordan are only 8 years, but there is a little bit of a disconnect. But I think if you double that, like to 16 years, there's a big gap in there, like socially, like how you grew up and what the times were like and movie references and things like that. So that would be a con of a big age gap. But pros?
I just like, you're older. I don't know why. I always liked older guys.
All right. Well, I guess I like that you're younger.
Yeah, there we go. I was going to say something, but we're going to, I don't know. Okay, let's move on. If you could only shop at 2 stores for the rest of your life, what would they be? Yours would be Costco and Home Depot.
Oh, man, you answered mine.
I know you.
I think that's all I need.
What would mine be?
Yeah, Costco and Home Depot. If you want to find me out in them streets, that's where I'm at.
Costco and Home Depot. Me? What? Target? Amazon?
Yeah, Target for sure, you.
But a store.
That's
You
a
don't
store?
actually go. No, I'm saying Amazon's not. You don't go into Amazon and shop. So probably Target. That's where I spend a lot of my time.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
a Target girl.
Or the grocery store. Lately, it's the grocery store. Lately, I go to the
You could
grocery
go to a
store.
super Target and knock all of it out.
I do love Walmart. Walmart has some good jams. Walmart always makes me think of my grandparents, and I just love it. How did y'all work out being different religious and being married? I think we have the same beliefs.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm Catholic, or you're Catholic,
Right.
and I was non-denominational, but I
Yeah.
feel like you weren't like you're not like a practicing Catholic.
no, Christmas and Easter, but I don't know. I think I understand, like, if you are religious, how you should be in church every Sunday, but I pray every day. I have my own relationship with God, and I think that's
I need
the way
to
it
be
should
better at going to church.
Yeah.
My kids are grown, or not grown, but bigger now. There should be no excuse. Before, when they were younger, it was a lot harder. I felt like in North Carolina, I like the churches better. And here, there's one church we go to on Christmas that I really like. But I don't know, it's just something about the preaching in the South at a non-denominational church. It's so good.
Well, I mean,
And the crowd, everybody's like clapping and standing up and get into it. And
Yeah.
here it's, you sit down and it's more quiet. I feel like if it was, it's just different here.
I like the messaging, right? Especially around the holidays, maybe because that's how I grew up. But I do like the messaging around the holidays and what the holidays are actually all about. I understand people have their own spectrum of their own religion, but I'm not into the big mega churches where the pastor is in a private jet. Not into that. I'm not into all the things that happen with the Catholic Church, and their history of abuse and things like that. So I'm not really into that either, but I am into what God stands for. So I guess it's a spectrum of beliefs, and I guess that's for each person to find their own peace inside, so to speak,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What, was I get too deep?
No. Let's see. Favorite way to drink coffee? I always drink lattes.
Oh, my favorite, I get the sugar-free pumpkin spice.
Mm-hmm.
And I have like a little pump, and I just usually drink it black. But if I want to get crazy, I'll pop a pump of pumpkin in there. And that's usually how I drink my coffee.
Are you ever afraid to stay home alone when Jeff is out of town? I'm not. Just because I feel like in my cul-de-sac, I got Green Beret, wrestler, FBI guy, and other person with a bunch of guns. So I feel like if
You just got to make it out of the house.
I just got to make it out of the house,
Yeah,
I feel like
and
I'm
scream.
good.
All right, last one. Let's wrap it up. Because my hip is getting sore from my kickball injury.
This might take long. Show recommendations. We're watching the Menendez. We talked about that.
Yeah.
I do want to watch Nicole Kidman, the show,
Oh, yeah.
A Perfect Couple. I want to watch that. I heard it's really good.
And
Haven't
I want
seen
to
that
see
yet.
the new Vince Vaughn show it's on Apple TV.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I want to check that out too.
Is it action?
I don't even know,
Or
but it's
comedy?
Vince Vaughn. I love him.
Yeah,
I think
he's
it's kind
funny.
of comedy, but I don't know. I got to check it out.
Okay. On that note, we'll end our questions, but there's still more. So sorry if I didn't answer your question.
Yeah, we got to a lot between the last 2 episodes, but yeah, thank you for writing in. Got a big week coming up, so hopefully I got some good news when I come back on the next episode. Or not good news. We have more news for you, I should say. And hopefully I do have some good news.
Yeah.
Job-wise.
And again, have a wonderful week. Thank you for continuing to download, subscribe, and tagging your friends. And we will see you next week. Bye.